Good evening. Hello to everyone.
Hi everybody.
Sunday night Satsang with John and
Michelle, we've been away for a few weeks.
Yeah, we have. We're sorry we deserted you for a couple of weeks. Last week we were invited to a beautiful hotel in Simonstown.
We were. Yeah. And the week before that we were somewhere else.
We were
we've been running around.
And we've also been traveling today. We've driven many hundreds of miles today. So we're really getting around.
Now.
But one thing while traveling you realize is, my goodness, we live in a beautiful country. We live in a beautiful world. We really, really do. Last week, as I say, in Simonstown, beautiful, beautiful place. And today we went to, what do you call that part of the world? Overberg, yeah. Beautiful mountains, and this time of the year in the Western Cape, it's the secret season. It's the green season. Absolutely beautiful. Those hills are
magnificent.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a secret season in Cape Town. Everyone comes to Cape Town in summer. That's not the time to visit Cape Town. The time to come is in winter.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, really, really beautiful.
Welcome.
So welcome. Yeah, thank you for coming to join the Satsang tonight.
Tell us where you're from, please.
Yep.
It's always nice to know who's joining us on
Who's joining us, where you're from, and we love getting those hearts. Thank you for those.
It makes us know that we're not just talking to ourselves.
Yeah, and also what helps get the session out there is if you press the like and the share button. That really, really does help. And if you're not subscribed to our channel, please press the subscribe and the bell. Press both of those. Thank you. Then you'll be notified, and then it just increases the reach. The reach of these satsangs. And I do believe that this time in the Earth's history and the Earth's evolution, we need to spread the light as much as we can. So pressing the share is a very good idea.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you.
Lovely to have you with us.
Hello, who's that? Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
Hi,
Hello.
Lisa. Yeah,
I think I saw Cecilia there, I'm not sure. Okay. So
right, so let's just do the most important part of the satsang.
Hi, Sonia.
And
Lillian.
withdraw our mind from the activities of the day, the activities of the weekend, the activities of our life story. And let's just become connected to the sacred essence of just this moment, here and now. This is the only moment that's really important. It's the moment that you connect directly with life, not through memory or anticipation, but directly with the life in this moment. So let's just gently maybe close our eyes and take a moment or two to center yourselves into the here and now, withdrawing our mind from all other times and all other places, just becoming supremely, supremely focused in the here and now, in the present moment. And the way that we generally do that is by connecting with our physical bodies. Even though our mind races to the past and races to the future, the physical body is always in the present moment, because that's where life is. And so let's just bring our awareness into alignment with life, to be one with life. It's an acronym for OWL, one with life. Very wise thing to do, because when we become one with life, we replenish the body with energy. We replenish the energy with physical energy, but also with spiritual energy, because we reconnect to spirit in the present moment. That's where all of life is, and that's where spirit is to be found. So let's just connect with our feet. Check in with your feet. You might like to acknowledge the ground, Mother Gaia, beneath our feet, and thank her for providing this wonderful, wonderful, beautiful platform called the Earth for us to have a human experience on. And then we connect with our hands, And we're grateful for the incredible dexterity that the hands give us. We feel the pads of our fingers, and we give thanks for the sense of touch. We feel the very center of our palms, and we see if we can sense the energy that lies in that very important meridian point in the center of our palms. Just become still for a moment and see if you can pick up that energy, maybe as a heat, maybe as a color. And now become aware of your arms and your shoulders relaxing, your neck muscles. Dropping your awareness down your spine, becoming aware of the chair that you're sitting on, maybe feeling the backrest behind you, and giving thanks for the chair. Bring your awareness to your legs, to your thighs, your knees, your calves. Relax them, just in this moment. Just deeply, deeply relax them. Bring your awareness into your torso, into all the organs in the body. And with the next out breath, just relax every organ. Bring your awareness to your forehead. Smooth away any worry lines, any crinkles you have there. You don't need to worry about anything in this moment. You can pick up your problems later, but just right now, just relax. Feel your cheek muscles relax, your jawbone relax. Feel your tongue relax. And become aware of the breath moving in and out of your nostrils. Become aware of listening. You can hear my voice right now, but what else can you hear? Just listen with great alertness in this moment. And notice what happens in your consciousness when you become very attentive to listening. Because in truth, it's stillness that listens. In order to listen, we have to become still on the inside and quiet. Let's move our awareness into our hearts, that most powerful place in the body, where we have that physical heart which pumps the blood around the body, oxygenating every cell in the body and removing the waste every single moment, day and night. But the heart is also the seat of awareness, consciousness in the human form. See if you can pick up a place of stillness within your heart. And feel a radiance from that place of stillness, emanating through your whole body, radiating through even the field of energy around your body called the aura. Let's use now the power of focus and attention to radiate this energy from our hearts to all our loved ones. Embrace them with a feeling of oneness. Just say thank you for them being in your awareness at this time. let's include into this field all those who are with us tonight in this satsang. There's a shared energy here, a shared field. And this field is supporting our spiritual growth, our healing. And we say thank you for this community, for this satsang, for this gathering of like-minded souls. This beautiful, beautiful group of people. And we radiate this energy out to the unseen ones who fill the same space. Our guides, guardian angels, whatever you believe in. We thank them as well for their unseen support in our journey. And we radiate this light from our hearts, this stillness. We might see it as possibly a beautiful golden emanation of light. And we radiate it to encompass the whole of Mother Gaia, this beautiful, unique, sacred gift of a planet. We embrace this planet in a beautiful golden light. And we now fill this this golden light orb with a beautiful, beautiful pale pink light. Gently bring our awareness back into the body. We take a very deep breath, blowing our tummies out like a big ball as we breathe in, because we're breathing from the lower diaphragm, not from the shoulders. And a long, beautiful breath out. And we take a second deep breath in, blowing the tummy out as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, you bring the belly button back to touch the spine. So you're really squeezing all the stale air out of you. And take a beautiful third deep breath in. Visualize it going right down to the toes this time and to the top of the head. So you're blowing the body up like a big ball. And then sigh it all out. Let it go. And then when you're ready, very gently and softly, open your eyes to see how you feel in this moment. See how you feel. You feel a bit more centered, a bit more connected, a bit more peaceful. Thank you. Thank you.
John.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Welcome, everyone.
Hello, Christine.
And hello, Shu, I think it is. Yeah, you can see it on the screen.
Yeah, thank you for the hearts. Thank you. Yes, so this evening we're going to be looking at...
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
Yeah, there's quite a few interesting little parts to that sentence.
Yep.
Because this is a time of the year when we look at who we are. Sun's just moved into Leo, which is about, it actually, your meditation was perfect because it's about the heart.
Oh, okay.
And it's about shining our own unique heart light. So that was perfect meditation with unscripted by John. So you picked it up on Leo energy. And it's a time where we start to say, how am I shining my light in the world? How do I want to shine my light in the world? Who am I? Who is it that's shining the light into the world? Is it this human self, or is it more than that, or what is it? And I think the other part of this is, who do you think you are? So there's also just, I'll do an astrology update this week, but there's quite a lot of quite strong energy around and coming up in the next week. So I think that it's very, very important that we each connect in with this heart center as often as we can during the day, because that's where our sovereignty lies. This is about sovereignty. It's about when the world is going crazy and you're being told to do this and that, or that this is and that is going to happen. It's about actually who am I, and standing in that sovereignty and the truth of who you really, really are. That's the way I'm seeing these times. That's what's going to get us through it. Because if you don't know who you are, then you're going to be pulled from side to side with whatever's going on around you.
Yeah, the flow of life, the pull of life, the story, the drama will pull you out of your centeredness, out of your sovereignty. And your sovereignty, your center, is a place of infinite depth, infinite peace. And that's the love in the center. And it's the story that pulls us out of alignment with life, out of connection to the divine. So it's good to build up some tools to do that. But why, I want to ask you a question. Why is Leo connected with heart?
Just each of the signs, it's basically Leo is ruled by the sun. And it's out of the body parts, the different parts of our bodies. Leo is connected with the heart center, with the way we radiate our light from that heart center.
Lion heart.
It's lion heart, I suppose.
Lion
Brave heart, lion heart.
Brave heart, yeah.
It's a creative center, actually. So Leo's about creativity. It's sovereignty. It's your unique creative expression into the world. So how do you express that unique creativity? How does it radiate out from you? That's what Leo's about.
Okay.
Yeah, so it often follows, it always follows the sun in Cancer, which is always about a sort of an inner journey. It's where we feel everything and we sort of go within in a certain way. And this is more of it's more a light spark.
It's a fiery, isn't it? Fiery energy. I know I grew up with a Leo. My mother was Leo. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And
it can be quite dramatic, quite colourful.
Yeah. She was a lovely woman, but she had that energy. Yeah. But that's only her sun sign. I have no idea what the other signs.
But that's the energy right now, because it's obviously, sun moves through that sign once a year. So it's just moved in. So it's always stronger when it just moves into a sign.
Does it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a lot more happening this week, but I'll tell you more about that in my update.
Okay. Well, we look forward to watching that.
Yes.
So, who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, who do you think
you are?
So
are you John?
Well, I think I'm John.
Are you?
Yeah, it said it on my birth certificate. That's how I know.
A piece of paper.
Piece of paper, yeah.
Tells you who you are, does it?
That's right. So when we're born, we get given this lovely basket to hold. And I often think of it as a wicker basket. And on the outside of the wicker basket, our parents lovingly put a label, and that label is our name. And into that basket with our name, we start to put our goodies in there. We start to put our first little plastic toy. Could be a wooden toy, potentially a plastic toy, a train set or a dolly or something like that. And then we start to put, our friends into there. This is my friend. And then we put our education into there, and we put everything that we did right and everything we did wrong goes into our little basket.
The things that we're good at and the things that we're bad at.
Yeah, and all
goes in.
Self-recrimination goes into that basket as well. And all the experience of life goes into there. Our first lover goes into there. Our first marital partner goes into there. Our second one and our third one.
Our wins and our challenges and our everything.
Everything goes into that basket. And I always say there's nothing wrong with having a basket full of goodies, full of experiences and whatever. The problem comes in, though, is when we forget that we're the one holding the basket. And what happens with a certain number of people, and I'm sure it's not applicable to anyone on the group tonight, but some people start to actually think that they are that. They are this basket of stuff. And when you think you are the basket, you become the basket case. You become somewhat insane, because you're not the basket. You're not what you have. You're not what you do. You're not what other people think of you. You're not your achievements, and you're definitely not your failures. You are that which is holding the basket. That's who you are. But the question is, who do you think you are? Now, the thinking process is very much attached to all the stuff inside the basket.
Right.
It's what gives us a sense of personality, a sense of egoic self, doesn't it? It's I am the basket.
That's
You know,
who
at the
you
moment
think
we
you
have,
are.
at the moment we have a lot of gender issues going on. I've been watching a bit of that lately. And again, gender again is something in the basket. It's not who you are. It's something that you have a brief experience of connecting with for a very short time.
It's something you have.
Yeah.
It's not something
You
you
have
are.
a gender.
You have a name.
Yeah.
So we've got Sally Ann Fincham Cohen. So
Yeah.
that's your name.
Yeah.
My name's Michelle, and I've had a couple of surnames.
Yeah.
So which one is it?
Yeah. Which one are you?
Which one shall I attach
Yeah.
identity to?
Yeah.
Or I could choose to change that name and go and say to the registrar that I want to be called Sally. So then who am I? I'm not my name, clearly, because that's going to change.
No.
Or can change, or will change, or has changed.
Well, I know some people who look for a new life and they change their name hoping that the new name will give them a new experience. Sometimes it does do that because there's a power in labels and there's a power in letters and new vibration.
Yeah.
But ultimately, really, sometimes you're just changing the chairs on the Titanic. It's going down. It's not a great experience. So no matter
your name, yeah.
Yeah. So no matter, you can change your external circumstances, including your name. And yes, you do change a certain amount of energy. But do you change what really matters in life?
What about your body?
You can change your body. You can go along. You can go along and have plastic surgery.
So we think,
Yeah.
most of us, that I am my name and I am my body.
Yeah.
I'm this person that I see in the reflection, but this person that I see in the reflection is very different from the person in the reflection 20 years ago.
That's right.
And definitely more different when it was 6 months old,
Yeah.
a year old.
Yeah.
So is it the same person?
And one of the fundamental errors that the thinking mind makes as to who you think you are is this permanence of the physical body and who you are when you look in the mirror. And that is absolutely not true. And it can't be true because you're definitely not wearing the same meat suit tonight as you were wearing when you were born, or when you were 2 days old, or when you were 6 months old, or even when you were 6 years old. You definitely don't have the same body. So your bodies have come and they've gone. Every cell that you're made of basically disappears after about, I think the maximum is about 8 months. And then it disappears and new cells are created. And yet you haven't disappeared. You are still here. You can say I am, and you can change whatever you put after that. But the I am that you were when you were 6 is still the I am that you are today, isn't it? Even though your physical body has changed completely in the intervening time.
Yeah.
So you cannot be your body. You're not your name because you can change your name, and you're not your body because you can change. You can change. You are changing it all the time. Every time you breathe out 10 to the power of 22 million atoms. And every time you breathe in 10 to the power of 22 million atoms. So, I mean, we are exchanging vast amount of body every moment of every day. And yet you, the I am, is still looking through your eyes today.
Yeah, and I think also when we meet someone, what will they usually say? You'll usually introduce yourself and give them your name. And they'll usually be able to see what gender you are, perhaps, maybe. And then they'll generally say, what do you do? So I am a hairdresser. I am a woodworker. So then is that who you are? I am a hairdresser or a woodworker.
Or a politician or a plumber.
Or a politician or an astrologer or a salesman or whatever. So is that who we are?
Are we what we do?
Probably not, because that changes too.
Yeah, because you can change what you do.
I've had many careers in my life,
Yeah.
so that's definitely not that. I'm definitely not that. So when somebody asks me what I do, I actually don't really know what to say. Because I can say what I do on a daily basis, but I can't say I am anymore, because I know it's not true.
It's not true.
I practice
not true at all.
astrology and I do art and I do all sorts of things, but that's not who I am. It's just what I do.
Yeah. So you're definitely
So you're
not
your
your
career.
name, and you're not your body, and you're not your career, you're not your achievements. No matter how big and how marvelous and how spectacular your achievements are, with a bit of time, no one on earth will remember what you were and what you achieved. I mean, if you just think of one of the most incredible achievements on earth, were the building of the pyramids. And today we don't have a cooking clue who built the pyramids. And an incredible achievement like that's gone. In the sands of time, it's gone. And yet many people do cling to their sense of self by what they've achieved. And the counterpoint of that is they cling to the sense of self from their failures in life, what they did wrong with life. But I mean, does it really matter? Because within a few years, no one will even remember.
But we put a huge amount of emphasis on that.
Yeah.
We believe that that's the most important thing of what we achieve.
Achievement.
What other people think of what we've achieved.
Yeah. I know some people that I've spoken to, their whole life purpose is to leave some sort of legacy to the world. But with enough time, that'll be forgotten.
Well, it's fine to leave the legacy. But if you live your life with that as your prime motivating factor.
To leave a legacy.
Really?
Is that what life is really about?
Is that what you want to put your energy into?
And is that who you are? Because what happens if you're busy building something up and you're really feeling good about it, and then the whole thing collapses?
It doesn't work, or something happens and it stops the process.
Yeah.
And roles, other roles as well, not just business roles or work roles. But what about roles like father, mother, daughter, friend? The roles that we have. That's the other thing we'll explain. If we ask who are you, mostly that's what we say. I'm so-and-so, my name's so-and-so, I'm so old, I live in such a place, and this is what I do, and I'm a mother or a daughter or a wife or husband, and those things change too.
I remember doing a workshop many, many years ago, and one of the sessions was to sit opposite someone, looking in their eyes and saying, "Who are you?" And you have a little bit of a concept of who you are, and you share that information, but half an hour later and the person's still saying, "Who are you?" You definitely run out of ideas. You definitely run out of ideas who you are. And then eventually you get to a point of stillness where there is nothing to say, and you're still there.
Right.
But there's nothing to say. Now, all of those things that fill that basket, your roles, your career, your achievements, your gender, your name, all of that is made up of thoughts. Because that's all it is. It's a thought. It's a thought that sits in your mind and sits in the mind of those people who know you. That's a thought. And that's who we think we are. We think we are a bundle of thoughts. Now, that's not a very permanent identity. It's not a very stable identity, because thoughts are coming and going all the time. And most people are looking for something a bit deeper than just a transitory thought. Am I right?
Yeah, and in fact, that exercise that you did with who are you, I did the same, very similar one on a workshop that I went to. And you had somebody sitting a few inches away from your nose for a few hours saying, "What do you want?" And then you'd say, "Well, I want to this." And "What do you want?" "I want to that." "What do you want?" And after a couple of hours of that, eventually you run out of things to want. And then there's what's left when you run out of things to want. Because those are all thoughts as well.
They are.
I want this in order to be happy.
Yeah.
Or I need this in order to be fulfilled.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So the question is right now, who do you think you are? And that question is very pertinent, because most people are seeking. Most people are searching to improve themselves. But the self that they're looking to improve is that basket that we spoke about, that bundle of thoughts. They're looking to improve that personality. And the problem with that is that everything that's in your basket, everything, nothing excluded, will be taken away. Everything that's in your basket had a moment of birth or actualization in this world, of realization, of construction, and then it has a process of destruction. It has a process of dying. So it comes and it goes. And that's very, very disturbing, because we are looking for permanence, we are looking for stability, and that creates an underlying fear, an underlying anxiety, acknowledged or not acknowledged. That fear of letting go, that fear of dying sits there in the psyche, in the deep psyche of most people. And it actually determines their choices that they make in life. That underlying fear, the fear of annihilation. And it comes to the surface very obviously when someone around you dies. And then there's this huge outpouring of grief. Now, you're not grieving for the person who's died, because the person who's died is gone. And your grieving doesn't help them at all. In fact, it holds them back to this planet. But what it's doing is it brings up this sense of vulnerability, of mortality within you. And what you're grieving for is the loss of an illusion that this bundle of thoughts is going to be there forever. And so what grief brings up is a tear in the very fabric of what I call the matrix, of that sense of mental abstractions and constructions and concepts of who we are. And that, I believe, is being challenged at the moment. The amount of change in the world is huge. The amount of change that's coming is huge. And I believe unless we're able to step out of an identification with a crumbling basket of self and find that which is more eternal, more secure, then I believe the pain and the suffering is going to intensify. But it doesn't have to happen. It's definitely not necessary. They say that through pain and through suffering we grow spiritually. Yes, that is true. But it's to remember that all suffering is self-created. It's a thought in your mind that creates suffering, that this shouldn't be like this. That creates that suffering. And when you've suffered enough, eventually you surrender. And the distance between now and when you surrender is just this journey of suffering and uncomfortableness. And it's a decision to surrender. The one energy that really rules this dimension is that energy of fear, false evidence appearing real. And the false evidence appearing real is that I am the basket. I am what I do. I am what I have. I am what other people think of me. I am this physical meat suit. And that is false. There's another energy, a more real energy, a more transcendent energy, a more eternal energy. And that is the energy of love. And while fear is always grasping, always holding on, always attached, love, on the other hand, is an energy of joyful release. In each moment it's releasing. In each moment there's no need to cling, to hold on to, because you're not looking to an identity. You hold on when there's a sense of self invested in the item that you're holding on to. For example, a relationship. There's a sense of self invested in that relationship. Now, that relationship may have gone sour a long time ago, but you still hold on to it because you believe yourself to be in that relationship. No, it's just something that you're experiencing for a brief moment of time. So if you can remember that love is a releasing energy. It's a surrendering moment to moment to moment to the flow of life. While fear, on the other hand, is always the grasping, the clinging, the holding on energy. And the question you can ask yourself is, what in your life right now are you holding on to? What are you trying to grasp right now? And what are you willing to surrender? Because I believe that as you surrender, the real you does the surrendering. The false you does the holding on.
You could also see it as fear being a contracting, closing energy. So whenever we're fearful, we contract and we close because we separate. And when we are non-fearful, we're in love, we open. Love is an opening energy. And this is what this time is about. It's showing us that the more we try to hang on to what's in the basket, the more we're going to close, because there's always going to be fear that what if this thing gets taken out my basket? What if this person leaves? What if this job leaves? What if this house leaves? What if I don't have the money? What if I? And each of those what ifs causes us to contract. Whereas if we really know who we are, there is no need to fear, because we are infinite. We're not finite. That's where the love versus fear comes from. Fear comes from it, doesn't it? It comes from thinking that we are finite and separate from all that is. Hoping like hell that we're not, and that somehow this, whatever it is going to last forever, which it can't.
This relationship, this body, this career, whatever is going to last
fear
forever.
That if I just hold on tight enough, this relationship or this job or this face or whatever it is going to last forever. And if you really think about it, that's what we do, don't we? We try and hang on to what we don't want to lose, as opposed to seeing it as an experience that's coming in and that will leave at some point. Either you're going to leave or it'll leave. And I mean, that can be depressing for someone to face. And I think a lot of people don't want to face that. Because when you speak to people about that, they go, no, I don't want to think about that. Which is fine, but then you know that that's what your fear is. And that's what your restriction is, your constriction. And that's where the closing is. And when you close down, where do you close? If you think about when you open. When you close, you do this. You actually close this heart center. You close down. So there's a closing of energy flow as soon as we shut down into fear. And that is, if we're in fear, that is how and when we can be controlled. When there's no fear, nobody can control you, because you're sovereign. You know that you're connected to all, and that nothing real can really affect you. Yes, it can affect the body or the mind.
It can affect the form, but it can't affect the formless. And this time that we're going through is the apocalypse. That's what we're going through. And the apocalypse means for the veil to come down. It's the veil of ignorance, the veil of falseness to come down and to reveal that which is real, that which is hidden behind the veil, which is who we really are. And this is a journey of awakening, but it's also a journey of freedom. And freedom comes through love, not from fear. As Michelle said, that fear is used to manipulate and control you, or all of us. Love, on the other hand, is the energy of liberation. A person who knows who they are, a person who truly is connected through love to the world around them, cannot be controlled. We've had beautiful leaders from the past, and there are beautiful people on the world today who are so courageous and so brave, and they speak their truth because they know who they are. And they're not open to manipulation by external situations and events. And that is our journey. That is our journey. Each one of us individually and also collectively is to choose more wisely than we have in the past. To choose love rather than fear. To choose the trust in life rather than the clinging, the hoarding, the holding on, which is the fear-based, into that love, which is an open energy. As Michelle said, it's an open energy. This is the watershed for mankind. I believe this is a testing time to see who are those souls that have truly, truly grown and know who they are, that they are loved, that they are infinite, that they are indestructible, and who are the souls that still cling to the form of life. In other words, what you have, what you do, what people think of you, etc. That is controlling energy. So although we're going through very challenging times, and I believe that they are possibly even going to get more challenging, there's a wonderful opportunity. It's an opportunity to see what is real and what is false. False evidence appearing real? Fear. Love is a sense of oneness with life. And life can never be destroyed because it's real. Life changes form. Life is energy. You can't destroy nor create energy. Changes form. And you are that. You are that energy, that life, that presence, that unconditioned consciousness, having the experience in form for a very brief moment in time, having the experience of being a somethingness. And there's nothing wrong with having experience of being a human being. I mean, it's really great. The problem comes, as I said earlier, it's not the basket. The basket is not the problem. Having a basket full of goodies is not a problem. It's thinking you are that. It's the who do you think you are? Well, I think I'm my achievements, my roles, my failures. No, you're not that. You're that which is holding it. What is holding it? It's pure, unconditioned consciousness, awareness. And that awareness is love. That's what love is. And that's who we really are, not who we think we are. Love cannot be constrained in a thought. You can't put love inside your head. Love doesn't fit inside your head. Love is the experience of an open heart. That's what love is. It can't be, we do put it into a word called L-O-V-E.
Yeah,
but that that is not what love is, just a word.
No.
Yeah.
It's also another sort of analogy, and we've used it before, but it's, getting into your car and driving your car, not for a minute thinking that you are the car. But at some point you're going to get out the car and close the door. Because you're driving the car, you're in the car, you're not the car. But we get into this body and we think this is it. This is it. I am this body, I am this name, I am this vehicle. And I'm not this vehicle, clearly, because this vehicle's changed. And it's still changing by the millisecond. So if you're not your vehicle, then who are you? And that's why, mystical cultures and spiritual cultures will say, ask the question, who are you? And it's a very profound question. Who are you if you don't have the name? Who are you without your roles? Who are you without your achievements? Who are you without your fears and anxieties? Who are you? What's left? And most people don't want to go there. And that's what self-inquiry is. It's going there and saying, wow, who would I be? Sitting for 2 hours with somebody saying, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Until you eventually run out of things to say. And then there's a moment where it's, oh. But that comes from inquiry.
Yeah. And what the mind will do when we ask this question, and I'm sure some of you have been doing it already tonight, is you come up with the idea, oh, okay, well, I am an eternal spiritual being having a human experience. That's another idea. It's another thought. It's another label.
It's closer.
It's closer, but it's just another label. Who are you is when you step out of thinking. When there's not a thought in your mind, that's who you are. It's not who you think you are that matters. It's that space between your thinking. It's to find the true essence that allows the thought to be there. It's that space into which the thought comes and the thought goes. You are that space. You are that emptiness, as Buddha spoke about. That space is love. It's a sense of oneness with all that is. There's no separation. Only thought separates me and another. That's a thought. It's a concept. I'm over here, you're over there. That's a thought. In truth, the space that allows all thoughts to be is one. There's only one space. It is eternal space. And we, in truth, when we let go of the sense of self that we think we are that space. And that space cannot be understood. It can't be labeled. It can't be intellectualized. It's not a concept. It's a direct experience. And that's the work that we do in so-called meditation, because meditation is a word that means no mind. It's a settling into presence. That's really what it is. It's a subsiding of those 60,000 thoughts we have a day and finding what underlies those thoughts.
And sometimes that's just momentary. Sometimes that's just for a
Correct.
tiny little
Correct.
portion.
Initially.
And the rest of the time you're wrestling with all the thoughts. And that's okay as well, because you do have thoughts. It's like you do have a body. You do have a mind. You do have thoughts. They're just not who you are.
Yeah.
So don't believe all of them, because then you'll go completely mad. So it's just to know that I'm not the thoughts. I'm not the emotions. The emotions and the thoughts are passing through, like waves or like clouds.
Yeah.
And then every now and then there's a moment of peace, or maybe 2 moments. But the issue also comes, I think, when we meditate, because of our humanness, we're looking for something in the meditation. Because that's what drives us in our physical form. We're seeking. So I had a meditation, but it wasn't a good meditation because I didn't see anything. Okay, what are you supposed to see? But that's what the mind will tell you, that you're supposed to have this wonderful experience when you're meditating. Well, sometimes it's not wonderful. Sometimes it's just the busy mind going, and then every now and then dropping into a deeper state of consciousness. So that's, I think, what stops people from meditating, because they say, I can't meditate. No, you can. You're just watching your thoughts all the time. You're noticing, you being the noticer, the observer. But then in those, there are moments of samadhi, of peace.
Yeah, the idea in meditation is not to get rid of your thoughts, which is what the mind says. The egoic mind, believe it or not, plays a game of superego. And it actually criticizes the mind for having a thought. Meanwhile, the part that's criticizing the mind for having a thought is the mind. And so, sorry, the idea in meditation is not to get rid of anything, not at all.
No.
It's just to create the space into which you are aware of the thoughts as they come and go. You're aware of the emotions as they come and go. It's a stepping back. True meditation is not a reaching for something, as Michelle said, not reaching for sparkles of purple or anything like that. It's not a reaching. It's a stepping back into that awareness which underlies the thoughts, that awareness which is aware of the thoughts. Thoughts are not the problem. It's when you believe you are the thoughts. That's the problem. So it's a stepping back process into the emptiness which you really are. There's a doorway, you mentioned the word samadhi. There's a doorway into this place of bliss, whatever you want to call it, samadhi, heaven. And that doorway is a doorway of emptiness, absolute emptiness. To go through that doorway, there's a process of surrender. And that is the letting go, which is the letting go of fear ultimately, the clinginess, letting go. And that door is emptiness. And as we approach that doorway, the mind goes into a frenzy. And what the mind generally does is it goes into anxiety, goes to fear, and to cover those up, generally it might even go into depression. And depression is something that's inflicting many people at the moment. It's a resistance to what is. If you are not resisting what is, there's no depression. There's just acceptance of this moment. So depression is really a defense mechanism of the mind, because you're heading towards the door of emptiness with that sign saying surrender above, and the mind doesn't want that. So it will actually depress you to take you away from that openness, because to go through that door, you have to be open. And depression, again, is a little me defense mechanism. You're closing down from the world. Now, the truth is that while that door is the doorway itself is emptiness, which means that you can take nothing through that door. You cannot take your name. You cannot take anything from your basket through that door. But the beauty is that stepping through that nothingness allows you to experience the fullness of life in a way that you cannot ever experience while you cling to this basket with your name on. So yeah, if you are suffering from fear or anxiety or depression, just know that that is a a vital experience for you on the way to surrendering. And ultimately, it is a letting go process to heal anger, fear, resentment, guilt, and depression. It's a surrendering, not a way, then I just give up. Then I just give up.
Yeah.
That's again another technique of the mind. No, you're not doing that. You're just in this moment surrendering to the space behind those thoughts of I am depressed or I am anxious. There's a space behind anxiety that isn't anxious. It's who you are. There's a space behind the anger that's not angry. That's who you are. There's a space behind the depression that's not depressed. That's who you are. Not who you think you are, but it's who you really are.
Yeah, and for me, the practice is to experience that throughout our day. So yes, in meditation, where you actually become very aware because you're just sitting and you don't have outside influences, so the mind can be quite loud. But in your daily life, so to be conscious of, here's this, and to step back from it. So just notice it. And to notice that in that moment, in your life, in your daily life, that's practice all through the day. So that your daily life becomes that you're aware of every single thing. And you can feel, this is a big emotion that's coming up. Can I just hold a space for it and be aware of it, be conscious of it, and let it flow through? So it's like an ongoing meditation. So it's not just something that you do for 15 minutes in the morning and then leave till the next day. It's something that you need to intersperse your day with. Those little moments of pause, the little moments of space before you react, before you respond, is just to see, there's a fear here, without judgment. It's just a fear. Here's a fear. Here's an anxiety. That's my thoughts going into anxiety about the future. Okay, I see you, thoughts. I see you. That's all. I don't have to believe you. I see you. I hear you. Thank you. And then you come back. So that's the practice, and that's what's going to get us through these unknown, very crazy times. And I believe that it's going to get crazier. So I think that I know that this is the way through for all of us.
Yeah, this is a time of transformation. The you that's going to get through this is not the you think you are.
No.
That's the truth.
No.
Not at all. In the same way that a caterpillar may think it's a caterpillar, but what goes through that transformation process, what emerges is not an improved caterpillar. It's not a better caterpillar. The caterpillar has to die for the butterfly to be revealed. And you are the butterfly.
And
that's
also,
the process.
That butterfly, comes out of nothingness.
Comes out of chaos.
The caterpillar dies and turns into caterpillar gunk, so there's nothing there, no form is there. It comes out of that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come out of a form to another form. It's got to go into that state of dissolving in chaos before, that state of no thingness, nothingness.
Yeah.
So that's what we experience over and over again in our lives.
So if
but
you
we
are,
resist it.
So if you are in a process right now of suffering, of uncomfortableness, just know that is beautiful, because that's part of the surrendering process. It's something the caterpillar needs to go through in order to transform into something that experiences life in a completely different way. And that's that doorway that we're all going through at the moment. Now we can go through resisting it and saying no, in which case it'll be pain and suffering, or we can go through in joy, in complete surrender. We can go through in fear, or we can go through in love. And that's the choice that we get to make. But if you cling on to that who you think you are, it'll be a challenging process. If you go through to that which underlies the thinking process, as Michelle said, that meditation is the doorway that takes us into the awareness of that space, then it's a beautiful process. It really is a beautiful process. There's nothing that you will not cope perfectly with in the present moment.
Exactly.
Thank
Shall I
you.
leave everyone
If
out?
you've enjoyed tonight and you found it valuable in any way, please press the like and the share button. It really does help it get out there. Thank you. Yeah.
And we have an inner space. Our inner space month for August is going to be your heart song. So it's going to be all around the heart and the love revolution and how we actually move forward from a place of love. So it's going to be a very powerful month because it's very powerful energy.
And the tools that can
tools.
help open our hearts to experience this new way of being in the world. Very valuable tools. So join us on Inner Space. Inner Space is a monthly community platform. We have 2 90-minute Zoom meetups a month. And then, coaching. And we integrate the teachings with practical life challenges that the people on the group are having. And then there's journaling and there's meditation and there's normally a creative exercise as well. So that's Inner Space, just monthly. It's a monthly platform,
Okay, I'm just going to do a short checkout. We've got 5 minutes left.
And then we've got an affirmation card.
Okay, so let's just all settle in. If you're not settled in already, settle in more. Nestle in to your little space that you find yourself in. And take a beautiful deep breath in through your tummy, blowing your tummy out on the in-breath, and then bring that breath all the way up to the top of your chest, and then let it all go. And as you let it all go, drop your shoulders. And then another beautiful deep breath in, all the way in, all the way in, all the way in. And then a very big releasing slow breath out. And see if you can really relax your body on the out breath. Just allow yourself to drop into this place of presence. By first of all, listening to the sounds that you can hear in the room. And extend your hearing out to the sounds that you might hear outside the room. And then bring your hearing back to the sound of your own breath. Maybe even deeper to the sound of your own heart beating. You can sense your own heartbeat. Imagine that you were breathing into your heart. And with each in-breath, your heart was expanding. As you breathe into the heart, soften your body, soften your shoulders. Bring a beautiful healing light in through the top of your head. Let's make it a beautiful golden light coming in through the top of your head, warming us up, swirling around your head. As it does this, gently relaxing your eyes, relaxing the little frown marks on your forehead, relaxing your mouth, your jaw, your ears, and send that beautiful golden light down through your neck. And on the exhale, send that golden light down through your shoulders and drop your shoulders. Allow it to flow down now through your arms and into your hands. Feeling the energy in your hands. Down through your torso, all your organs, down through your spinal cord, down into your pelvis and your buttocks. Opening, releasing, letting go. Down into your legs, upper legs, knees, around your knees, shins and ankles and feet, down into the earth beneath you. Bringing in fresh golden light through the top of your head and releasing whatever you need to release through your feet into the earth, into Gaia. And then bringing your focus back to your heart. Soften into this moment by focusing just on your heart center. Feel the peace that is there. Right now, in this moment. Bring your focus gently back to your breath. Notice how it enters through your nostrils and how it exits. And how you naturally trust the next breath to breathe you. May you take this peace into your week. A sense of fullness, a sense of inner strength. This love, let's take it into our week with us. Now take a deep breath in and a releasing breath out. There we go.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. That's nice
Sweet.
energy to go into the new week with. So let's just choose an affirmation card for us for the week ahead. It's one way of changing what we think is through the power of affirmation. Okay, the blue one. Let me take a blue one. As I live more in presence, so I live in the magic of synchro destiny. As I live more in presence, so I live in the magic of synchro destiny. I'll put that up on the Facebook page and let that be your affirmation for the week ahead. Make presence more important than any story.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Let us know how you're feeling now.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Let us know how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Awesome.
And thank you for all the hearts. Thank you. God bless. Beautiful week ahead.
Much love.